Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Today is August 3rd, and yesterday I returned from Dead by Dog Vol.2 in Cleveland, Ohio, held on August 1st. And I was at Volume 1 about 14 months ago. Had a great time, so I made sure to return for Dead by Dog Volume 2. And while I like all the bands present on both bills to some extent, it's these headlining bands that really make that trip from Toronto, Canada, down to Cleveland, which isn't that bad of a drive, really. I guess if you don't stop, it's about 5 hours straight, and if you don't hit traffic. This year, I definitely had a bit of it took me a full hour probably to get over the border, and I kind of left later than I planned on, but I got to the club with about 20 minutes to spare before they opened doors, so it all worked out. And I thought I'd do a little off the top of my head recap of the events that transpired. And here we go. So there were some lineup changes. Asheron and From the Depths could not make it. There were a couple substitutions that we'll get to when we get to it. And actually, one disappointment of the day is that, like last year, they printed off these Dead by Dog shirts, which I showed in my video last year, but I kind of used that as my guide to talk about the evening. And then there's the attic design here commemorating the show. And so this year they had a Denial of God shirt, Denial of God on the front, and then a similar festival recap on the back. And I was at the Hell's booth, and unfortunately, they sold the last one right in front of me. If anyone from Hell sees this, I hope they do a small run of t-shirts to buy on the website. Don't know if that'll happen, but I would definitely buy one. And definitely several people that I've had small interactions with on YouTube that I meant to say hi to. In the end, I didn't. I'm a nice, normal guy, but I kind of clam up when I don't really know people. But that's just coming from a place of not wanting to bother anyone. And I know that's silly, everyone's there to have fun and interact, but that's my bad. But I did run into Scott from the No Solution channel, and he was kind of my bud through half the night. So it's nice to meet you, Scott. You're a good guy, and sorry I didn't get to say bye. As soon as Denial of God were off the stage, I went to the washroom line, and then I kind of lost you, and I headed off to the hotel. But maybe we'll meet again one day. So, first band played at 3 o'clock, and that would have been Lord Humongous. Lord Humongous are an American black thrash band, heavy on the thrash. They were my third favorite band of the evening. Great stage presence, cool stage show, and looking around, I think they probably did the best on the merch side of things. It seemed like everyone was buying their stuff. So, yeah, I've ordered the new split CD with More Than Red, who we'll discuss later. And again, I thought they were definitely a fan favorite. And actually, you know what? My second favorite band of the evening was Lord Humongous. Next up, we had actually one of the substitution bands. That was Hexea. Metal Archives has them as Black and Roll, band from Texas. I can definitely see that. I guess my first impression was black metal, heavy on the punk, but a little bit more heavy metal guitar added in there than my punk reference would have you believe. So I actually bought their most recent full-length album a couple months ago. Haven't spent much time with it yet, but I bought that in preparation for the show, and I'll be listening to that very soon. I thought they were great. And actually, this poster came with a couple Hells orders ago, and I asked for an autograph. So from Dawg, there it is. To Kyle, that's my name. And got same as last year. Got a picture with Dawg, but I made it real short and sweet. Thanks for throwing the show. Can we get a pic with the dog? And then he just said, thanks for coming out. Shook my hand, and that was it. I hope Dawg throws a third edition, but we'll see what happens. Another detour. Saw lots of people from last year I have a pretty good memory. I'd say I recognized like 50 fans that were at last year's show and this show. You know, the usual suspects, all the House Headbangers guys, some of the more kind of well-known fans of the channel, saw them. I saw one of the Burial guys, I saw one of the Cyanide guys, and I'm pretty sure I saw the death metal guy from Terminus Extreme Metal Podcast, which I think is the best metal podcast out there and has such a level of analysis that makes me like embarrassed to do the kind of videos that I make. And I wasn't sure if it was him, but in hindsight, I'm pretty sure it was. I kind of wish I said what's up to him. But let's keep going with the bands. Next up, Mordant Red. I watch the frontman's YouTube channel here and there. And yeah, Metal Archives has them listed as a black metal band. To me, that was total first wave black metal. Venom and Old Bathory with a crusty punk side. So I thought they were pretty good too. Again, I've ordered their new split with Lord Humongous, and definitely another fan favorite of the evening. Next band would be Eat the Decay, grindcore band from Texas. I was really impressed by them. I wasn't too familiar with their music because a lot of the distros I've ordered from recently have not had their album or, you know, their releases, and they are not on Spotify. But that evening I went back to my hotel room and put together a little Hell's Order, and one of their CDs was on the website, and I did pick that up. So Eat the Decay were another great addition. What band are we on now? Now we're talking about Sam Biles and Friends, an incarnation of Hideous Manglius. I talked about their album several months ago. That was a kind of bit of a shorter, looser set. Definitely, I think they're having a little bit of a resurgence with Dawg really bigging them up. And some people were really into that. Another great band for the evening. Then we had Melting Rot. That was one of the bands. I'd say they were the band I was anticipating the second most, and probably my third favorite band of the evening. So a three-piece band, guitar, drums, and vocals. I have their newest album. I'm going to speak about these releases when I listen to them a little more. But they were awesome. And similar but different, the next band would be Flesh Parade, which are from New Orleans. And I was familiar with their release from the 90s, Kill Whitey. But they do have some more recent material. And they're playing shows. And yeah, it's definitely have some things in common with Eat the Decay and Hideous Manglius, but all three of these bands were actually quite different from each other. And again, Melting Rot was my favorite in that vein. But yeah, what's it say right here? The band with the greatest death grind EP ever, Kill Whitey, from Hillbilly, Louisiana. Definitely had a lot of jokes on stage, and I thought they were really good. But the main reason for my being there was Denial of God, all the way from Denmark. Got their full-length albums here on CD, and it's one of the EPs there, The Shapeless Mass. I'll talk about them on some other day. Maybe getting closer to Halloween. I was talking to Scott at the show, and I said, you know, when I first became acquainted with Denial of God was several years ago. I knew the name, but never really listened to them. And I was on vacation in Copenhagen, loaded my phone with some Denial of God, and I was just kind of walking around the city. And then I found myself in a Burger King, and I fired up the Hollow Mass. And the title track there, just right away, made me say, what am I doing listening to this in a Burger King? You're tainting the memory. just turn it off. And Halloween's around the corner. Get acquainted with them around that time. And that's exactly what I did. And what I love about Denial of God is black metal, but like the Norwegian second wave, that is still my favorite music of all time. And when talking about black metal, my immediate reaction is to kind of compare them to one of the big names of Norwegian black metal and then go from there. But Denial of God, even though they're not really an original sounding band, I don't really know who I would compare them to. What I love about them the most is that they are black metal, but heavy on the classic heavy metal. And like Attic last year, what I love about them was just they have the classic metal in there, but it's very straight-faced, serious, theatrical, European. I thought they really stole the show. So not only were they the main reason for me being there, but they were definitely the highlight of the evening. Yeah, one of the guys standing near me was saying, like, it's very emotive black metal. Totally agree with that. I can't say I know their catalog front and back to really tell you every song that they played. They closed with The Horrors of Satan, which I think is their regular show closer. First time ever in North America, so for 99% of us in the crowd there, that's the only time we're going to get to see them. Glad I was there. Yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but Denial of God, check them out if you haven't. They were awesome. So, Dead by Dawg Volume 3, don't know what they're going to do there or if they're going to do it. I hope so. That is it for me today, and thanks for joining me. Thanks.